Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to share with you all the things I've been loving in the month of August. And truthfully, I only have one actual physical thing to show you today, like to hold up and show you. Everything else I'm talking about is either like an app or a company or just something that's not something I can hold up and show you. So let's get started with the one I knew was going to be part of the favorites video as pretty much as soon as I downloaded it. I actually started using it in July, but it was like towards the end of July. Given how much I've loved it in the month of August, it is absolutely probably the #1 favorite this month, and that is an app called Elevate. And I learned about this from Amy Landino. I feel like I talk about her a lot, I know. But she shared a podcast that was her, I think it was top 20 favorite technology things that help her with her life. Things that she loves relating to technology. And she talked about this app. And so I immediately downloaded it because I love any sort of gamification of anything. I am such a sucker for give me points for this and check marks and stars and coins and points and all the things. I am such a sucker for it. And so when she mentioned that there was an app that she was using that was a gamified version of helping you like grow your knowledge, helping you develop skills or like work on skills that you had probably learned in school that you've completely forgotten about. And that's what's funny about it. There's 4 categories and they all kind of remind me of like the SAT. I mean, it's not exactly one-to-one, but the categories are writing, speaking, reading, and math. And there's all kinds of games and different tricks and skills that you're learning. I mean, some of them I'm like pretty decent at. Like I was a math major. Like the math ones I'm pretty good at. Some of the like reading ones, like I'm not so great. Spelling, not my thing. But I'm loving the feeling that I'm doing something good for my brain. And the way that it's set up, it has a bunch of games that you can just go play on your own if you want. But what it does is it curates a daily training for you, and it gives you 5 tasks. And it's one of the many games, and it's usually a combination of all the different categories depending on what they think you need working on the day. I don't know how the algorithm works to create your training for the day. It usually takes me about 10 minutes, give or take. I usually do it on the subway in the morning on the way to work. And then of course I get a check mark when I do my training for the day. And then it also gives you points within the categories. It ranks you against all the other, not like one-to-one, like it doesn't show me like this is where you rank among all the people, but it tells me percentile wise where I am compared to the rest of the community that uses the app. And I love it. I actually feel like I'm smarter. I don't know if that's true or that's a placebo effect, but I am enjoying it. It's not free. I'm gonna just throw that out there. If you're looking for a free game that's going to boost your intelligence, this is not it. But I was willing to pay for it because I did the free trial and then I loved it so much and I just felt like it was really valuable. It just felt like a much better use of my time in the morning on the subway than like, I don't know, watching somebody's get ready with me. Okay, the next thing on my list is a podcast, and this is not a new podcast. This podcast has been around for a while, and I knew it had been around, but I don't know. I didn't feel like I needed to listen to it, and I don't know if it was rubbing off from the game that I felt like I needed to be more educated and worldly and well-rounded. And so the podcast is from The Skim, and I feel like I've mentioned The Skim before in a couple different videos. They originally created themselves as a website that is designed to give a skim of the current events going on right now with a focus and target towards millennials. So they have it set up where you get an email every morning, every weekday morning, and you're just supposed to literally be able to skim it and get an update on current events. And I've been getting that for years. I've gone to some of their events. I have been a fan of The Skim for a long time. Well, recently, I don't know how recent, I didn't start listening to it till this month, they started creating a podcast. It's daily, also Monday through Friday, but they upload it at 5 p.m. and it's a summary, like an audio summary of the major events for that day. So there's usually like 2 or 3 things that they talk about. It's not near as in-depth as The Skim. Well, let me take that back. The Skim is actually more high level, but more topics, usually in the morning. And then if you're interested in one of those topics, you click on it and you can get more information. The podcast is a little bit flip-flopped. It's usually only 2 or 3 topics, the big topics for that particular day. And then at 5 p.m., they give you it's usually like 10 to 12 minutes. They give you a lot of information about those topics. And so you really feel like you know what's going on, which I really appreciate, especially when you work a 9 to 5. And I'm not isolated from the world all day, but sometimes they don't know what's going on. Like, I'm not checking the news during the day. Like, there's times that I'll get a text, like something will happen in New York, and I'll get a ton of text messages. Are you okay? Is everything okay? And I'm like, what happened? I don't know what's going on. So I appreciate that sort of lowdown at the end of the day. And again, also only 10 minutes of my day on the subway ride home. It's the perfect way to just sort of like get me back into the world and remind me of all the things going on. It also sort of helps me, I feel like, get out of my bubble a little bit. There's so much going on in the world right now, and it can be so hard to keep up with all of it. And sometimes I do feel like I just focus on me and my goals and my life and what I want to accomplish. And I'm not ignoring what's going on, but I know the high level and I don't necessarily focus on the details. So I really appreciate having this podcast as a way to remind me of all those things going on in the world and give me factual details on them. Okay, the next two things are food related, and the first one is the only actual item we have to talk about today, and that is the cauliflower gnocchi from Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's, y'all. So for the longest time, I've known this has existed for a while, but my Trader Joe's actually didn't carry it, and then still to this day, sometimes it's in the section that it's supposed to be and sometimes it's not. But I first tried it when I got my wisdom teeth out, and that was in April, but it was the first pseudo solid thing I ate. So for like almost 2 days, I had only eaten like liquids and puddings and you know what I mean. And I was craving something savory and not liquid or not, you know, like something solid. So I had purchased those with the intent that I could have it as like a in-between. Like, I can't really chew real food yet, but it's gonna have a little bit more to it than, you know, a bowl of yogurt. So I made them and I added pasta sauce, and I did really like them then. I talked about it in that weekly vlog that when I got my wisdom teeth out, but I wasn't convinced that I actually loved them. I thought I was swayed by the fact that it was the first solid food I'd eaten in 2 days. Then I did keep buying them every time I saw them at Trader Joe's and tried to figure out how to incorporate them into my Jenny Craig meals, but there really wasn't a meal that went well with them. So one of the things I did when I was on Jenny Craig is I would mix vegetables into my other meals in other forms. So the carrot noodles, which I've talked about in a favorites video before, I would mix into noodle dishes. The cauliflower rice, I would mix into rice dishes. So I bought the cauliflower gnocchi thinking I could also mix it into things, but there was nothing it really made sense in because I was already mixing the carrot noodles into all the noodle dishes. So they kind of just piled up in my freezer. So when I decided to take a break from Jenny Craig and I started cooking my own meals again, I started cooking with them again. And they're so good. Like, cauliflower rice and cauliflower mashed potatoes, they still taste like cauliflower, right? And granted, I'm not eating these by themselves, right? I'm putting sauce on them, but I don't taste the cauliflower when I do that. Like, I don't even need anything else. I just need sauce, some sort of sauce. I buy one of the many sauces they have at Trader Joe's. I mix it with this and it tastes awesome. I've tried to get a little bit fancier. I bought the meatballs from Trader Joe's. I added those in. I added some chicken. I've added some mushrooms, added some onions. Like, I've tried to add some more things in there, which just helps. But honestly, I think they are very, very good. And let me check. So you get 1 cup of it for 140 calories. And that's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I don't even have that. I don't have, that's the serving size, but I usually, the bag has 2.5 cups. And so I usually do 3 servings per bag. So I get a little bit less than that per serving because that's plenty for me because they're actually very filling. Like, it's very filling. So I really love these. I highly recommend them. Okay. The other food thing we're going to talk about is salad. I'm not coming out here and telling you that salad's a favorite this month because it's not. I still don't love salad. So I started a challenge for August where I was gonna have a salad a day. Now, I am filming this video. It's not quite the end of the month, but we're pretty close to the end of the month and I've had a lot of salad. And I still don't love it. It's still not a favorite in terms of like, am I excited to eat a salad? Not really. But I did learn some things that I love in salad. Some of my favorites related to salad. So the first one is, I actually like kale in my salad. I like arugula, like I like the flavor of arugula if I'm only gonna have like olive oil or something. I'm not having a big dressing, but if I'm having a proper dressing, kale is great. The crunchiness is great. I know it's better for me. And when I throw a bunch of dressing on it, like, you can't taste the kale. So I am pro kale in my salad. I basically solidified the dressings I knew I liked. I really like Caesar dressing. That's my favorite dressing, hands down. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I actually really didn't like ranch dressing on my salad. I like ranch if I'm dipping like vegetables in it. Okay, I don't really like vegetables dipping in ranch, but I will tolerate them. And I do like balsamic vinaigrette, but I like it really balsamic-y. Like, I've learned actually that a balsamic vinaigrette isn't balsamic-y enough for me, and I actually prefer just like balsamic drizzle on my salad with some olive oil. That's like really more my style. So I learned that. One of the things I never really thought about putting in salad, but I ordered it at a restaurant and they had it and it was delicious, is those Parmesan cheese crisps. I ate those a long time ago. You can get them at Costco, you can get them at Trader Joe's, but it's basically like a chip. Well, it's not as big as a chip, it's like this big, but it's cheese. It's the perfect crouton. It is the perfect crouton because it adds so much more flavor than a normal crouton, but it still gives you the crunch. I also realized when it comes to salads, I don't really need the cheese, which I didn't see that coming. I thought that I love cheese. Okay, I love me some cheese. Cheese board, I'll just have that for dinner. Oh, queso, yep, sign me up. Oh, you're gonna try and give me a sandwich without cheese on it? It's not happening. I didn't need cheese in my salad as much. It wasn't as important to me as the dressing being like the right flavor and the right amount and some sort of crouton. So that's what I learned. So if I'm gonna make salad at home by myself, like now I know what I like. I'm not ready to make that the challenge for September. If you watch my goals video, you see how I sort of incorporate salad into September without it being making salads at home because I'm not quite ready for that yet. Okay, the next favorite I'm gonna talk about has been a favorite for a very long time. This is not even close to being a new favorite, but it's a rediscovered favorite in August because I finally like just dove back in to using it a lot more than I had been, and that is ClassPass. I signed up for ClassPass. I mean, I feel like I had just moved to New York. I've been here almost 7 years. I've been in ClassPass at least 5 years, if not more than that. And if you've never heard of ClassPass, it is a way to take workout classes, fitness classes, at a discount, because instead of paying that one studio, that one fee to go take a class there, you're paying ClassPass for a monthly package of X number of classes, and then you can pick all these different individual studios. And it comes down to being a lot less expensive per class than if you were to go buy it individually. Now, for some people, they find the studio that they love and they would rather just pay a monthly fee and belong to that studio. More power to them. And then there are people who just like to go to the gym and work out and like use the machines at the gym and weights, and I'm not that person either. I need a class. I also need variety. So that is what I love about ClassPass is I sign up and I pay them a fee and I get a certain number of classes every month and I can take them at pretty much any studio in the city, like with the exception of like Orange Theory and SoulCycle. Like every other studio in this city isn't on ClassPass. And it is such a better deal. The HIT studio near my apartment, I've talked about this in a weekly vlog that I just discovered, is $40 a class. 40. Yeah. You heard me right. On ClassPass, at the current rate that I'm paying, which I'm on a lower package right now because I've been using the gym at the office, it's $16. What? It's crazy. The other thing, I feel like I couldn't talk about ClassPass as a favorite because originally it was just in New York. I mean, that was 5 years ago, but it has taken them a really long time to get to a bunch of other cities. It is pretty much everywhere now. If you are in the middle of nowhere, I am sorry. I will stop talking about ClassPass soon. But if you are in a decent sized city, it is likely that ClassPass is in your city, and I highly recommend checking it out if you like workout classes. It is it's a great way to discover new studios. It's a great way to save a little bit of money while still taking high quality workout classes. I love it. They have tons of different options now, like in terms of levels, like how many classes you want to take per month. And so for the longest time, because I was really only using the gym at the office, I was on the lowest level where I was only getting 2 to 3 classes a month. And then this month I finally upped it and like kind of recommitted to ClassPass, especially on the weekends. And I forgot how much I loved it and what a good value I'm getting for these incredible classes. Also, just because you sign up for your city, you can take it in any city that they offer it in. I do that a lot when I'm traveling to other places. I will go take classes in other cities. I've already looked up classes in Seattle when we're there, like within walking distance of our hotel. So I highly recommend you check it out. If you have any questions about how it works or anything, please let me know in the comments. They've changed their structure so many times over the course of the years that I've been a member. When I first signed up, it was $100 for 10 classes. Yeah, that's right, it was $10 a class. And then at some point they switched it to unlimited classes. I think I paid like $129 for that, unlimited classes. Yeah, I really tried hard to get my money's worth. And I mean, they've changed it a lot over the years. So just look into it, look into your city. Also, the prices vary by city. Like the numbers I'm throwing out, those are New York prices. New York's more expensive. The price varies per city. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna talk about should be of no surprise to you if you watch my weekly vlogs, and that is my new desk setup at work. It is making me so happy. So the quick backstory is that I got a new job at work, same company, different job. I'm really excited, and it came with a new desk, a new location. I'm on the same floor, but I am by a window, and the natural light has just made such a difference. Being able to see the outside and see what the weather looks like and get this natural light is just incredible. Also, I got plants, and I'm obsessed with them. I love having plants at my desk. I haven't killed them yet. We'll see. I've never really tried to own plants, so I have no idea if they're gonna flourish or I'm gonna kill them. But I love them. I love being able to look at them and smell them. I got 3 different plants. So I got a pothos, I think is how you say it. That one was the most recommended when I asked for recommendations on Instagram. It was like the easiest indoor plant, and it grows pretty quickly. It doesn't need a whole lot of attention. So I got one of those. I got a flower plant that is also meant for the inside, according to the Home Depot people, because I wanted something that had some color. I like color, right? So I got one flower plant that was meant for the inside. And then I got lavender, which isn't technically meant for the inside. And like, even the one I bought says like, here's how you repot. I'm like, I'm not going to repot. It's going to sit on a windowsill. And if it dies, it dies. But what I love about it now is that I can just feel it and smell it. It smells so good. It makes me so relaxed. It is making me so happy. So I had to mention that as a favorite this month. I literally moved into my desk on July 31st. So all of August, I've been enjoying just this beautiful setup, and my new, it just makes me so happy. So I could not mention it. Okay, that's it. Those are all the things that I have been loving in the month of August. Let me know in the comments below, what kind of workout classes do you like? Are you one of those people that just goes to the gym and does it on your own? More power to you if you are. If you are a class person like me, what kind of classes do you enjoy? Yoga, dance, Pilates, spin, HIIT, which I've been trying to get more into even though it kicks my butt. Let me know if you have a favorite studio that you love to go to. If they have one in New York, maybe I'll go check it out. If it's on ClassPass, of course. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Happy planning. There's 5 categories. Is that right? Where's my phone? Okay, the next thing on my list is not an app. We just did that. But they downloaded it. No, they don't download it. I download it. I like Arula.